We're going to the Super Bowl. Well, so back. Josh, you filled in. I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. You might be the new permanent co-host of Load the Box podcast. The Vikings just dog walked pretty damn good team in the Houston Texans. I was in Bristol, Tennessee, buying douchey sunglasses and fake gold chains. I'm pretty up. I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, besides the fact that I about had a heat stroke at our parents' house watching the football game because mom decided that it was a good idea to make chili when it's 85 degrees outside. But, besides that, it was a good Sunday. We missed you for sure. I had to do the ceremonial grittying when we scored. Sam Darnold out there lighting it up.
Crazy.
Defense locking it down. Like, somebody predicted that it would be a substantial Vikings win. And oddly enough, I looked at mom and dad at one point during the game and I said, I don't want to be that guy because I don't want to take anybody's job. But somebody came on here and predicted, and now mind you, I predicted a 27-17. I predicted a 2-score win, not a 3-score. But we'll take the dub. I'm feeling
Wasn't
good.
it a foul score win?
It was a 4-score. Yeah, I said that and
Yeah.
then instantly thought, oh, well, it was probably
Yeah.
4. But regardless, a blowout, even worse than I predicted.
Ridiculous.
So,
Ridiculous. Just absolute domination. The US Bank crowd was going crazy. So we're going to do some grades from the couch. That is what this show is. Of course, this is the show where I, Jordan Hawthorne, give my brother, Josh Hawthorne, 6 total players, 3 from each side of the ball, and he gives them grades as a casual fan who watched the game from a very old, beaten-up recliner, as he said a couple minutes ago, in an incredibly hot Middletown, Ohio home.
you had to
So
plug the AC in, by the way.
I saw it when I went to pick
the
the
window
dog
unit
up.
was in.
Yeah, it was. It felt good in there when I got there, but of course, the sun was it was going down by that point. But I did get to watch the game. So preface with that, I did get to watch it. I watched it on my tablet on the way back from Bristol, Tennessee. But I had a good weekend, ready to grade some things. So let's start with the offensive side, because they probably shockingly had the underwhelming game from when you compare the two. So we'll start on the offensive side of the ball, kind of cheating here. We will start with Drill Reichard, Will the Drill, whatever you want to call him. Big Leg Bill, as some shows call him. What grade are you going to give to Big Leg Bill, who banked in a 58-yard field goal to make it, I think at that point, a 3-possession game?
I'm going to give him an A. He did his job. He got up there. He kicked the ball through the uprights, sometimes off the uprights. But, it's not about what it hits on the way. It's just a matter of if it goes through the uprights. He put them through the uprights. He did his job. I give Will the Thrill a solid A for his performance on Sunday.
All right, yeah, I agree with you there. I think A plus for me, but I'm not going to fight you over a half. 58 yards is a long field goal, man.
60 plus, you probably get an A plus, but A is a very, very good grade as
I don't
a
know.
kicker.
50. We say we don't weight on scale, or we don't grade on a scale. There's no weighted grades, so I'll give you that because it was his third attempted field goal in his NFL career,
and he drilled it. So
O'Connell even said in his press conference today, he was like, I would not put it past Will to have told the punter before they went out, watch this, I'm going to dink it off the right upright, and then it's going to scoot in, and then I think he was joking, but yeah, man, really good kick. So we have to start with Drill Reichard because that's a hell of a kick. Seems like the Vikings might have made a good draft pick there. Moving to the next guy is going to be Jalen Nailor. Has his third touchdown catch of the season. Oh, no. Did he? Yeah. He caught a touchdown. Should have had 2, but only had the 1. What grade do you give to Jalen Nailor from this blowout win?
I give him a B. I don't think he didn't have any egregious drops or anything. He did his job as filling in as the number 2 for Addison still being out with his ankle. So I give him a B. He didn't do anything spectacular. Jets is always going to draw extra coverage and extra defenders. And, Naylor's got to capitalize on his opportunity, and he did. So I give him a B. He didn't do anything spectacular. So
Yeah, it was I think to be an A plus, Juan Jennings for the San Francisco 49ers kind of set the standard for what a wide receiver three who is filling in as like wide receiver two. He kind of, because what he had like 6 catches for like 175 yards and 3 tuds or some stupid stat line like that. So I agree. I think a B. He really has held it down, and I hope we get Addison back soon. But I think what we saw in week 1 when Addison was still healthy is Nalo still does have a place in this offense because that speed is just, it's really hard to match, man. I mean, and
Yep.
he does seem like he's got some hands.
I think he fills in a better 3 role than KJ because he's got more speed than KJ had. You know, Addison is still the 2 in my opinion when it comes to, you know, the depth, but I think he's an upgrade at 3 compared to what they had last year, which is it shows when Jefferson goes out of the game or when Jefferson's having an off game, you know, he's really able to step up in the 2 slot. He's really a 2, but when Addison's healthy, I don't think he jumps Addison as far as,
There's no
2 to
shot.
3, so
Yeah, there's no shot he's jumping Addison. But I agree with you. He's, I think, a significant upgrade from KJ Osborne in that 3 spot. So, all right, well, let's move to the last guy. We're going to talk about him. Dick Hammer's grandson, Sammy Hammy, Sam Donald. He's not Sammy System. I told Delaney. Delaney's my wife, of course. I said, we're not calling him Sammy System because he's running around dropping dimes, extending plays. He might be the best Vikings quarterback of all time. I mean, he's going to challenge for that. No, I'm obviously joking, but no, I mean, Sam is playing incredible. I mean, you know, you got people talking about like he is the MVP front runner after 3 weeks. It's not very close. He's got 8 touchdowns. Here's a fun statistic that I don't know if you know. Did you know that? Do you know the 2 quarterbacks that have went to a new team and thrown for 8 touchdowns in 3 games? Do you know who they are? It's happened twice.
Sam Darnold.
No, he's the 3rd one to do it.
Oh, Brett Favre.
No. Matt Stafford, who went to the Super Bowl with the Rams.
Okay. The Rams,
and Kurt Warner, who went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. So every time that this stat line has popped up...
Wait. You mean with the Cardinals?
No, I meant with the Rams.
Oh, where did Kurt Warner start?
I mean, I think like the grocery line, wasn't it?
That sounds right. But,
I think it might be with like the first 3 stouts. Maybe it wasn't like new.
It's not like
so some, yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I did not know that.
Yeah, and both of those years they went to and won the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying these Shady Way sunglasses kind of look like the ski goggles that you get when you're popping the champagne. You know, I mean,
there's a resemblance.
There's a resemblance there. But okay, so what grade do you give Dick Hammer's grandkid?
I mean, is it anything but an A+? Like, come on. The guy had 4 touchdown passes. He didn't turn the ball over. That's a lie. I think he had 1 pick, didn't he?
No, he did
not.
No,
he didn't have a pick? I thought I think it got...
Perfect
I think
day.
he had a pick. Or, no, he had it. He threw a pick, but the guy dropped it on the sideline.
Maybe. He also had that fumble that, like, Brandon Powell scooped up and ended up turning it into a positive.
Was that a fumble?
Yeah, like
his arm got. I mean, it was a lateral. His arm got hit.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that would have been a turnover attributed to him.
Yeah, and Brandon Powell turned a 10-yard loss into an 8-yard gain. We were cracking up about that. But no, he threw 4 touchdown passes. I mean, he got a cheap shot hit on him by Danielle Hunter. You know, that's the only time you heard his name. Shocking. I think he had an A+ game. So,
not an A+ game for me. He had a $183. The foul tuds were nice. It's like it's an A- game for me, but it was only like 180 yards. I mean, like it wasn't that crazy of a.
I don't care. He execute. You're gonna blame the guy for only having 180 yards when your defense gets a pick on the first possession and gives you a short field. That's his fault.
There were multiple short fields in that game, buddy. That's something I'm excited to talk to Will about. But
that's his fault that he doesn't have to throw a 97-yard touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson. That's that. So we should.
I just felt and look, old Sammy Hammy even said after the game in his press conference, he said we kind of hit an offensive lull in the 3rd quarter, and they did. It kind of turned into a punt fest there for a while. So like, I would have liked to have seen the offense have a little bit more consistency, but I've got takes for that on the other show that I'm gonna save. But overall, I don't think we did this. Offensive grade for this game, did we do that?
No, we didn't, but I'm going to give them an A. I watched this Houston Texans defense shut down Caleb Williams, albeit it's Caleb Williams, but he also just threw for 300 yards against
Indy.
Gosh. Thank you.
I got you.
I keep forgetting that Chicago. I keep thinking Green Bay played Indy this week when they played last week. I'm getting them confused. But he just threw for 300 yards against Indy, and our offense just went up and down the field. Even if it was a short field, they went up and down the field on Houston. Jets had a jammed finger in the second half, which kind of affected some of his performance. But
yeah, I'm not thrilled about that.
I think for the offense in this game, I give them an A. Sam Darnold got an A+. Like, he leads the league in passing touchdowns. Who would have thought? Like you said, he's on pace right now. He has to be the front runner for MVP as well as comeback player of the year. Like, it, without a question.
Did you see what Bill Belichick said about old Sammy Hammy?
I did not.
He said, it seems like everywhere this guy's been, they have raved about him. Like, he's been to Carolina. Belichick said he had to stop with the Rams, but I think he got the Rams and San Francisco mixed up because I don't remember.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah,
Belichick's old.
He is old. So, but they raved about him in San Fran. They wanted to bring him back as the backup, but Donald obviously wanted to get a chance to actually play. Like, Carolina raved about him when he was down there. Like, and granted, he didn't have the support staff around him, to be able to do what he's doing now, but it seems like the only place that was like, yeah, this guy sucks, get him out of town, was the Jets. And
shocking.
Here's my cat.
Shocking.
Everybody. Yeah. Like,
shocking that.
I mean, Geno Smith,
the dumpster fire
Sam
organization
Donald,
of the NFL.
I'm just
has
excited.
Problems at quarterback.
When Bo Nix busts, and it's coming, all right? Like, it's, when Bo Nix is considered a bust, Zach Wilson's going to light this league on fire. Because apparently the Jets draft good quarterbacks. We just don't find out they're good until 7 or 8 years later. Like, and
they just have to mature a little bit.
I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. Here's what's
like
crazy
a fine
too.
Wine.
Are you ready to hear some of the quarterbacks that Sammy Hammy's younger than?
Go ahead.
Like, obviously Matt Stafford, right? Obviously,
of course.
But here, let's get into some names. Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield, like,
okay.
Some of these, like, oh, those are like franchise guys, and Baker's kind of on the fringe of that list, I would say, but like, specifically Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, like, those are like cornerstone piece, build your team around them guys, because they're young, they're in their primes, blah, 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 and we forget it's not like Sam Darnold's 32 years old, and this is his, this is like, he could do this for a long time if he, goes to the right system. Would not shock me at all to see him go, like, to a Miami or to a Pittsburgh or somewhere that's going to support him.
Darnold?
Yeah, after this year, like, if the
Vikings. Okay, so what? This isn't the premise of the show, but so what does he have to do to stay in Minnesota?
He has to compete at a high level in an NFC Championship game or win it.
If Minnesota wins the division this year, and has a home playoff game, wins a home playoff game, and then has a second home playoff game and wins that, and takes them to the divisional round.
Well, that would be the championship.
The championship game, and you lose in the championship game. Is he the starter next year? Do you tell?
How did he play in those two games? I mean, like, was it
great? He did the same way he's been playing the first 3 games.
Then he gets extended. Then he gets an extension, and you sign him to
JJ.
Buddy, then you would probably sign Sammy Hammy to like a 2-year, 3-year extension, give him the Cousins treatment, and then you would have JJ sit a la like a Jordan Love. JJ just turned 21, so it's not like we're on this strict timeline with JJ. And then you see if Sam replicates it next year. And if he doesn't, you have JJ right there. And if he does, you have a high-end backup in JJ McCarthy. And yeah, you kind of look foolish because you wasted a top 10 draft pick on a quarterback that's never going to see the field, but you figured it out. And who gives a hell how you figured it out? I don't think Green Bay cared when they traded for, 7th round or 5th round, whatever it was, but Favre. They didn't care that he was, 6th round pick or whatever. Oh no, something big happened in the Bengals game. Oh no, it's Jamar Chase. Oh, I'm going to lose in fantasy. This is going to suck. This is going to be tough. It's going to be a long year. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Sam Darnold to be the quarterback here next year. But look, man, I mean, that's 15 weeks to go.
We still got a long season.
He has to be pretty consistent, I think, to keep this job. If not, I mean, I could see the Vikings doing a tag and trade. There's a lot we could do, though. We're getting way off topic. We gotta move this now.
We gotta reel it back in here.
All right, defense, overall grade for the defense. Obviously, they played incredible. I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
It's an A+. It's not even close. We talked about how explosive this Houston Texans offense could be. I don't care that they didn't have Joe Mixon. They still have Cam Akers, who's still a top-tier running back. Yeah. It's not like he's, knocking on death's door. You come out, C.J. Stroud hasn't thrown a pick since week 11 of last year. The first possession of the game, he, albeit through a batted ball, throws an interception. Like, your defense came in, locked up. Yeah, Stephon Diggs had a decent stat line as far as catches go. Nico Collins was MIA the entire day, except for when it was garbage time and he got a couple catches. Like, they shut down C.J. Stroud. They shut down the Houston Texans offense. And, it's like somebody said Flores was going to win the head-to-head between Stroud. I don't know who would have said that, but
no, you called that. Flores, look, you straight up called that.
Flores made Stroud look like a rookie quarterback in his sophomore season, and it was too much for him.
Yeah, I want to point, and this is
they get an A+. It's not close.
I'm kind of. I listened to a lot of national media stuff today, okay? Because I was kind of feeling
because
myself.
It was very busy at work today, so
That's
did not
fair.
get a chance
It was busy for me too, but my job is one where I can if I get busy, I put both headphones in and kind of just listen to whatever while I do my job. But so I was listening to a lot of stuff, and a lot of people were acting like Joe Mixon being out they were like, well, they didn't have Joe Mixon, so the Vikings took advantage, so they didn't have a running game. And I was like, I'm not trying. This Texans team won like 11 games last season and beat the brakes off of Cleveland with Devin Singletary and Damian Pierce as their running back duo. It is not like they are a good team because of Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon makes them an elite team, but they are still a very good football team without that. And Cam Akers is not a scrub, in my opinion. I mean, I think he's a decent running back still. So, like, I think people that are trying to discredit what the Vikings have done 3 weeks into the season, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. I agree with you. A+, absolute flustering. I mean, C.J. Stroud, there was just head in his hands. Just, I mean, every week is a haunted house on the football field for these quarterbacks, man. They're throwing so much crazy stuff, and the pass rush is crazy. Let's get into the pass rush now. Actually, no. D-line, linebackers, secondary, right? So by those rules, we will go with Harrison Phillips. He got the big extension. All in on the big extension for Harrison Phillips. It's a 2-year extension, but I'm all in on him being here longer. I believe he had a sack that I don't think got counted as a sack because C.J. Stroud technically gained a yard, but had that play, had the tip that led to the pick. What grade do you give to Harry the terrible, stuff in the middle?
I give him an A. I think he came out, he did his job at a high level. I think that was like the first or second play of the game when Stroud threw that pick.
It was the second. There was a holding on the first, and then
they deflected that. Like it clearly. I mean, Josh Allen is going off right now.
It's pretty crazy.
He did his job. He had pressures. He was always in the mix when you saw Grenard going nuts in the backfield. Like he was always right there. He got credit with the pressure, but he didn't get the sack on Stroud because he technically gained a yard. But no, I give him an A. I think Phillips played his ass off on Sunday.
Yeah, he plays such an unsexy position. It's difficult to really give him, good credit. But it's always fun to see the big guys like that come up and show up big in the box score. Let's move now to the linebacker. You brought up his name, Jonathan Grenard, in his revenge game. I know we just graded him last week, and I believe he got like a B plus, somewhere in there. Grenard, I'm assuming. Do you want to say it together?
Yeah, it's an A plus.
Yeah, it's an A plus. Yeah.
It's an A plus. It's not. I mean, he CJ Stroud is having nightmares of him in the backfield, just tackling him on his back because he lived in the backfield again. What did he finish with? 3 sacks.
3 sacks.
3. He wreaked terror. And in the story of the revenge games between the old Minnesota players and the old Houston Texans players, the Houston Texans players on the Vikings now absolutely won the battle between revenge games. Like I said, Diggs had a decent day with receptions and whatnot, and like he racked up some yards on some short catches. But Grenard lived in the backfield with Stroud.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, if Diggs is getting a lot of receptions for that offense, your defense is probably doing something right because they don't. I mean, they obviously Diggs is a good weapon. Like they will use him if need be, but they want to use Nico Collins. They want to get the run game going. They want to push the ball down the field. So if Diggs is just eating you up underneath, I think the Vikings were okay with that. Grenard, my favorite thing was, someone asked. I can't remember the exact story, but someone asked him, like how it felt to go up against his old team and do this, and he said it just feels good to finally be at a place where they respect me, because the Texans, when he got his first sack, I don't know if you saw, they trusted a rookie tight end to block him one-on-one. He threw him on the ground and absolutely massacred CJ Stroud on that play. And he was like, so clearly they didn't respect me. They didn't pay me. They let me walk in free agency. Then they put a rookie tight end on me on the first sack that I got. So I proved them, wrong there. And then they kept just disrespecting him by not doubling him and not treating him like the threat that he was. And he said, I hope more teams don't realize what I am and they keep putting tight ends on me, because I loved, he loved it. And so I hope that, I also hope that, I hope Green Bay is like, who we should have block this guy who's coming off a 3-sack game? A rookie tight end that we drafted in like the 5th round. Like, that seems intelligent. But yeah, so Grenard, A+, what a game from him. Finishing it up with the defense with the old vet who had a really good stat line for DB, like stat line. Stephon Gilmore, I believe it was 1 catch allowed to Nico Collins for like 5 yards or something. He followed him around and he kind of shut him out, man. It was pretty crazy.
Kinda. It's an A plus from Stephon Gilmore. I don't care how old he is. He shut down Nico Collins, who's arguably a top 5 wide receiver in the league. He shut him down. He had a couple plays too. Split. They had like a little quick out. Like a wide receiver screen, and Gilmore came up and made a great play. I don't care how old the guy is. I don't care how slow he is. He's fast enough to keep up with Nico Collins, and he shut him down. So it's an A+ for me.
Yeah, and that'll do it. That's our 6. So we can wrap this up, because I know there's 2 Monday night games on, and me and you both want to watch them. And I still have to talk to Will here in a little bit about what's going on in the world of everything else, not just grading from the couch. Get Will's more analytical view of things. So I'm gonna go record that show. I want to get, because I don't want to just shut you out and be like, Josh, all you can do is say A+, B+, whatever, and then we're gonna get out of here. One, I want to apologize to the viewers of this show. I know it sucks. I know every week Josh comes on here and he says B to A+, and nobody gets a C, and nobody fails, and I think Brian Robinson Jr. just to go to rushing touchdown, and that I'm gonna lose in fantasy. But like, legitimately, I want to get your thoughts on this team, because last week we got to have you on the main show, and I got to, we were talking like, what are your expectations? And you were a little non-committal. I'm not trying to be any sort of. I want full commitment. If you had to gun to your head, how many games does this team win? And then if they make the playoffs, how many playoff games? Like, what's the ceiling to this team, do you think? Like, how many games do you think they're going to win now?
Well, we talked about this today at work. The first 6 games of the year, I think I had them going like 2-4 or 3-3 at best. you're through the tough part of the schedule. Houston was a tough game. San Fran was a tough game, albeit it was at home. Um, I think the ceiling for this team is easily 10 to 11 wins. The schedule is significantly easier on the back end. What?
Hang on. We gotta clear something up. You're saying the ceiling, like the best case this team can do now, is 10 to 11 wins.
No, I'm saying like as far as win total goes, I think you're looking at 10 to 11 wins. I think they're competing for the division. I think it's going to come down to those last few weeks in the division games, and I could very well see us playing for the division. I even if they don't win the division, I think they're a wild card team in the NFC that looks super weak right now. The only two undefeated teams right now are Minnesota and Seattle. So if the playoffs started today, the Vikings are the 1 seed. Like that's oh goodness, Trevor Lawrence. That was not good. That's DeMar Hamlin. Watch that man. He will go into cardiac. Oh God.
Just go out of bounds. Just go out
No,
of bounds.
I think divisional championship round. If the team's playing like this, they have to be talked about as a contender in the NFC. You've already beat San Francisco. Oh, they didn't have Christian McCaffrey. I don't care. You play who you play, and you play who's on the field. If Christian McCaffrey can't stay healthy, yeah, just like June said, cry about it. I don't care. I think divisional round, championship round is the ceiling for the. Could they make the Super Bowl? I mean, yeah, they could.
Okay, answer the question. Can this team win a Super Bowl
I
with the
don't see why
roster
not.
this season?
Everybody stays healthy. I don't see why not. I mean, Sam Darnold's proven he can play at a high level. Why not? Why can't they? Why can't they go on a run and, make it to the what would they do against Patrick Mahomes? I'd love to see how they stood up against Kansas City this year.
The way
Unfortunately, we
Mahomes is
don't get to
playing
play
right
him.
now, they'd smoke them. They'd beat them by 30.
Well, but you would argue that C.J. Stroud has better weapons than Mahomes.
But Mahomes is better. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, we would smoke them. I mean, like, it would.
I don't want to say the Vikings are going to the Super Bowl and we're winning the Super Bowl because, like, in my lifetime that hasn't been realistic. So, I think the team is good enough to get there. You have to stay healthy. Sam Darnold, I think everybody, took a sigh of relief when he came back in, and we heard today that there was no structural damage to his knee after seeing that. But yeah, I mean, I think they could make the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of season left to be played, though. So I want to see how things keep playing out. If we go out against Green Bay next week, 2.5-point dogs, and come out and play the way we've been playing, I don't care who's playing. I don't care if it's Malik Willis or if it's Jordan Love. Like, they're going to have problems.
Yeah, good
And
luck.
then who knows what – Detroit doesn't look like they're unstoppable like everybody says they're going to be. So, winning the division isn't out of the possibility for this team. You just have to stay healthy and, keep doing what you've been doing. So
it's beautiful. Look, I think we can at least bank on this. It's going to be a fun season. So he's been Josh. I've been Jordan. Follow the show at LTB Vikings. Everybody enjoy your Tuesday. Josh, go enjoy Monday Night Football. We'll see you guys later. Skol, y'all.